Today we're going to be creating trending printable wall art. And don't worry, everything I'll be showing you in the tutorial will be completely beginner friendly. You don't even need a graphic design background in order to accomplish what we'll be doing today. Not only will I be showing you how to create your AI images, but I'm also going to be showing you how to resize them to ensure that you have high quality downloads, how to mock them up, and I'll be showing you how to add that listing to your Etsy shop from beginning to end. Hey everybody, I'm Danya, and on my channel, I share with you everything I've learned and everything I continue to learn on my own Etsy journey to encourage you to begin taking action in your own shop. And if you've ever been unsure about what ratio to offer or what size to offer to your customers, make sure you watch the entire video because I did create a free guide for you, and I'll be sharing with you a little bit later on in the video how you can get your copy. Without any further ado, let's get into it. We are going to begin on the homepage of Canva. From there, you'll want to navigate to the left panel and you want to click Canva AI. After you click Canva AI, you will land here on this page. From there, you want to click Create an Image, and here is where you want to enter the prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my prompt here. And if you're wondering what prompt I use, I did go ahead and leave it in the description below, so help yourself. But the members of my community are also getting every day the research titles and tags to help them bypass all of the hours of research and begin taking forward movement action in their shop. If you want to fast track your Etsy shop growth, then go ahead and check the link below. We would love to have you join us in our group. Now with Canva, we want to do a couple of other things. If you click down here on the style button, you can see here that we have multiple different styles that Canva will provide for us. I typically tend to stick with about 3 or 4, and that would be Smart, Moody, Illustration, and Pop Art. But you can play around with it and do whatever you like. You do get 500 credits a month, so you have a lot of room to play around with. Then I am going to click that, and then you're going to come over here to your aspect ratio. This is where you want to determine what aspect ratio you want to go with. You can see here that we have multiple different options, but for today, I'm going to be going with the 3x4. And then you click the arrow right over here to begin generating your images. Okay, now we have our 4 images and I don't really like them too much. So I'm going to re-roll and try it again. And this time I think I want to try a different style. So I'm going to click the drop down button right here and we're going to take it off of Smart. And I want to try Moody and I want to see what we get with that. So I'm going to paste my prompt back in and then hit the submit button. And I want to see what we get with the Moody style. Okay, yeah, these are much better. These are much more geared of what I'm wanting to accomplish. Now, I'm going to pick which one I like the best. And I'm going to go ahead and go with number 3. And we're going to go ahead and edit it very quickly and very easily within Canva. You're going to click the button right here on the bottom right that says edit. Okay, now we will begin with a few edits to our image. I'm going to begin right here and click edit. And I want to begin right here with magic eraser. And then you have different options you can choose from, but I'm going to just remain with brush. And what I'm trying to do is get rid of that weird writing right there. So I want to make sure I have my brush a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to click and drag over that area and then click erase. Okay, perfect. That came out really good. Now I want to play around with a few of the filters. I tend to stick with a few different filters. I don't go too crazy with it, and you don't have to do any filters if you don't want to, but I do know that I tend to go with Belvedere a lot. I like Capri and I like Flint a lot, but I think Belvedere might be the winner. Yeah, we're gonna go with Belvedere. And if you want to increase or decrease the intensity, you can drag the little slider over here, but I'm gonna keep it at 100. Now what I want to do is come up here to adjust, and then I want to click auto adjust and just see if Canva's AI can make the colors look a little bit better or different. It didn't really do much of anything and I'm okay with that. And if you like, you can come down here and play around with really a lot of different things, but I will leave it how I have it. So we'll hit the back button. And the final edit I want to make would be to come right over here to the app section. Now the app that I'm using is going to be called Image Upscaler. And if you don't already have that in your Canva program, you can come right up here to search, type in Image Upscaler, and then you'll be able to find it and then get it added. I already have it, so I'm going to make my way right over here to your apps, and then I'm going to click Image Upscaler. And from here, you can determine how much you want to upscale your image. I'm just gonna go with 4 because we're already being told by Canva that we already have a high resolution image, but I wanna make it a little bit better if I can. So I will click 4 and then I'll click Upscale. And this will take about 30 to 45 seconds for the most part. Okay, now that we have that done, I'll click the replace button right here. Perfect, we are good to go. Now what we'll want to do will be to go ahead and resize each of the images. Now when it comes to wall art, the important thing to remember is that each wall art image will have to have its own ratio. Earlier we talked about a 2:3 ratio, a 3:4, and so forth. And I'll pull up this document I created here that does go over into a bit more detail about the actual sizing. Now, what we're working with right now, we're looking at the ratios only. We have a 2:3, A1 through A4, 4:5, 11:14, and a 3:4 ratio. Within each of the ratios are different dimensions. When you are working with printable wall art and you're saving your images, you want to save them at the largest dimension. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want your customer to be able to size down if they need to. Because if the image is given to them and you save a 2:3, for example, by 12:18, but then your customer needs a 20:30 and they have to scale it up, they could lose quality on that image, and that will possibly result in a negative review, upset customers. So you want to provide your customer with the largest dimension per ratio. We can pull up the 4:5 ratio. The largest dimensions for that one will be 24 inches by 30 inches. So when you're saving your 4:5 ratio, you want to save it at 24 inches by 30 inches. At 18:24, that would be the largest available within that particular ratio. So I'm going to show you how to do that in Canva, but we do need to begin by resizing the first image. To do that, you come right here to resize, and then you want to click right here, custom size, and you want to change your unit to inches. And then going back to my document, we can see here that we do have the 3:4 ratio, which is where we began, but we have that the largest dimension will be 18:24 inches. So I will come right over here, 18:24 inches, and we'll go ahead and click that. And then we want to resize the design. Okay, perfect. Now we have that at 18:24. Now we need to include the other ratios, and something Canva just came out with a couple of days ago, which I think is a complete game changer for my wall art people, is that now you can save multiple sizes within one project. So we're going to click the down arrow right here, click more. We want to click custom size. Now I'm going to go back to my document, and we're going to save an 11:14 ratio, and the largest for that would be 22:28 inches. So we'll click right over here to the unit, change it to inches, and that was 22:28, and we're going to create a new page. We do want to go ahead and rename page 1 because we want to make it very organized and easy for the customer to understand what ratio it is. So I'm going to enter the name, and this ratio was 3:4. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to name that 11:14. And that way each file name will have the ratio. That way your customer will understand what ratio they would like to print and which ratios that they're getting. So we'll make our way down here. Now we have our 11:14, and I am going to click here. I'm going to copy that image, and I'm going to paste it here. Now you can see here that we have a lot of open space. So what I do is I like to just move it to the middle. You'll see those purple lines going vertically and horizontally. When you have them meeting up, that means that your image is completely centered. So we're good here. Now I'm going to click the, I don't know what to call them, I guess the handles on the sides of the image. We're not doing anything with the corners. If anybody knows what those are called, go ahead and leave it below in the comments because I have no idea. So I'm going to just drag it out until it meets each of the edges. I'm going to do it all the way around. Now let's go ahead and save a 2:3 ratio, which will be a 24:36 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing I did here. click the down arrow, more, custom, and let me double check again. Yeah, 24 by 36. I'm going to change to inches, type in 24 and 36, create new page. And I want to paste our original image that we had to work with. I want to get it centered, which was, I just had it right there. I'm going to repeat the same process I did earlier. Hit the back button. I went a little too far out. I'm just dragging it to the edge. And don't forget that we do need to name our file. And this one was a 2x3. Now you'll want to repeat that process for each ratio that you want to include in your listing. Before the video, I'm just going to only include the 3 different ratios, and then we'll go ahead and save it. I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can save your images. We'll click right over here on the top right to the share button. We'll click download. To save it as a PDF, you want to click the drop down button and you want to click PDF print. And we're being told right from Canva that the PDF print will be ideal for printing. So we'll click there and it will default to RGB, which will be ideal for digital, but our customers are going to be printing. So you want to click the drop down button and you want to click CMYK, which will be for professional printing. Very, very important that you do that. If you want to have it save everything in one document with each page, or if you want to have each page saved individually, completely up to you. And then you would hit done. And that's how you would save it as a PDF. If you want to save it as a JPEG, make your way back over to share, download, drop down button here, and we're going to click JPEG. Now I do like to move my quality all the way over to 100, and I do want to save each page as one, and we'll get a zipped folder. So I'm going to click download. Okay, now we have the file on my computer. I'm going to click it and then choose extract all here and then hit extract, and that'll pull out all 3 of the files that we saved earlier and put it into its own file. Double click here. We have our 3 images. We have our 2x3, 3x4, and 11x14. Now I want to check the DPI to make sure that we have it at 300. Spoiler alert, it will not be at 300. But I'm going to double click and I'm going to make my way down here to the eye icon at the bottom, and it is called the file info. We'll click here and then we can look right over here on the right hand side. We have a DPI of 96, not quite what we need, and we'll have the same thing for all 3, which is totally fine because I'm going to show you a quick and free way to get your images to 300 DPI. And if you're getting value out of the content, please like and subscribe. It helps me reach and help more people just like you. We are on one of my favorite and free online DPI tools. And when we land on this page, and I'm going to go ahead and link this tool for you below, completely free, but I use it all the time. We are defaulted to 300 DPI, which is exactly what we want. I'm going to click choose image, and we're going to begin with our 2x3. I'm going to select and then click open, and it'll do it for you automatically. And it is also saving it for you automatically as well, which I think is wonderful. And it's very quick. I'm going to show you the 3x4, open. It'll do it for you automatically. It has already saved to my computer without me having to do anything. I'm going to do the 11x14. And again, it is already saved to my computer. Very easy and totally free. Okay, now we're back on my desktop and we have our 300 DPI files here. Let's go ahead and confirm really quickly that we do have it actually at 300. Make my way right down here again to the file info icon. And then we can see right here that we have 300 DPI, 300 DPI, and 300 DPI. The only thing that you'll have to do if you want is when you save them from that website that I showed you, it'll put 300 at the end of the file name. So I'm just going to go back and delete it. I'm going to click here and just delete the 300 and then delete the 300 from the 2x3, and we're all good to go. Okay, and now we are moving on to getting highly converting and beautiful mockup images. I cannot stress the importance of having beautiful mockups that will appeal to your customers, because that will get them to click and then hopefully they'll want to buy from you. Now I get my mockups from either Etsy or Create Fabrica. For today, we will be using Create Fabrica to grab a couple of mockups. I already typed it in, and let's see what we have. We have a ton here, and I have gone back and forth between using Canva and Photoshop mockups. You do not need to worry about Photoshop mockups. I used Canva forever until I decided to move on to Photoshop. But for today, I'm going to be using Canva mockups to show you how easy it is. So I'm just going to find a few mockups that I like, and then I'll meet you over in Canva. Okay, now I am going to show you how we can quickly have beautiful mockups that we got from Creative Fabrica. And I'm going to be going with 4 different mockups today to add to our listing. Now, mockup image number 1, that one is going to be my main thumbnail photo. And the reason why is because of the 4 that I have, number 1 would have the one with the least amount of distractions. I see a lot of people having their mock-up images have a ton going on in the background that can be very distracting. And you want to remember, a lot of people are shopping on Etsy on their phone. So you want to have an image that will show your artwork front and center without a bunch of stuff going on in the background. These are all beautiful. They're all beautiful, and I'm going to use them because I love them, but I want to have my image be front and center without a whole bunch going on. I'm going to quickly show you how to upload our images that we created to Canva, and then how quickly and easily you can get them added to your mockups. We'll make our way over to the left panel and click upload, and I'm just going to click and drag. And we can see we have our main thumbnail image. It looks really, really pretty. I like it. And then I'm just going to click and drag there, click and drag onto number 3, and then I'm going to click and drag on number 4. Now I'm going to download my 4 mockups, download, and I have pages 1 through 4 already chosen. And I'm just going to do a JPEG for the listing photos. We don't need to do a PNG. We don't need 300 DPI. We don't need any of that. A JPEG is totally fine. Okay, now we have our mockups right here, and I'm going to just extract again, like we did earlier. Hit extract, and we have our mockups right here. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it looks really good. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and hop over to Etsy. I'm going to walk you through how to get a listing added to your shop. Okay, now we are over in Etsy. And a quick FYI, this is not my actual shop. I do keep that protected, but I did want to have a shop for the channel so I could show you how to do things in your own shop without having to worry about blurring out any information. So with that being said, on the left panel, you'll want to click listings. And then on the top right, you'll want to click add a listing. Now, printable wall art will be categorized under digital prints. And we know that because if we type in wall art, we're given that right there, digital prints. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Nothing else here will be applicable, so I'll click continue at the bottom right. And we need to differentiate if we're offering a physical item or a digital file. We're doing a digital file. Who made it? We made it. What is it? It is a finished product. We are not offering a tool or a supply. Now we want to let Etsy know when we made it. We made it just a few minutes ago, but we want to select 2020 to 2025. And most importantly, they want to know how was the digital content created, and you need to let them know that it was created with an AI generator. Incredibly important. We don't have any production partners. We're not doing print on demand. So we'll make our way down to the continue button. And here we go. We are getting ready to get everything added into the listing. Now, to begin with, we need a title, and it has to be 140 characters or less. So I'm going to pop in the title that I found. Please feel free to add as many listing photos as you want. The more the merrier, in my opinion, but there are a lot of different listing photos you can have. And in my own shop, I do like to use between 8 and 10. 10 would be the most you can have. Etsy is providing you with 10 different options to have photos. Use as many as you can. So I'll click there. And then this is where you'd want to add in a video. I did not do a video for the tutorial, but in my shop, I do have a video on every listing. So if you are able to do a quick video, that can be created in Canva as well. It does help you stand out a bit more amongst the crowd. So we have our listing photos here, and then here you can click adjust thumbnail, and that is where you can zoom in or out. I'm kind of okay with where we have it, but it doesn't hurt to zoom in just a bit more. You can also move it around like that. So I will go with that right there, and then I'll click apply. Now we'll make our way down here to the digital file section, and this is where your customers will actually receive their file after they purchase from you. So it is important that you're putting the correct file in here so you don't run into any issues. Maximum files you can add to your listing will only be 5 files. And typically when you're doing wall art, you're gonna have more than 5 files. So you can create a PDF in Canva that will link them to Dropbox or your Google Drive, wherever you're hosting your actual images. Okay, so those are getting uploaded, and we'll make our way down to the description. Okay, now for the description, I'm going to paste in what I had Chat GPT help me with, and then we will make our way down. And you would only select personalization if you're adding anything like that in your listing. We're not doing that, so I'm not going to go into that in the video, but we do have our description. And then this is where you would determine how much you want to charge for your item. I'm going to put it an arbitrary number, and I'm going to enter $5. The cool thing too is that Etsy will show you what your estimated profit would be, and that would be after all of the fees they take out. The quantity, the highest amount of quantity you can have will be 999. I always just do 999. I'm not a huge fan of putting only 10 in stock or anything like that. I like to just do 999 and move on. There are no variations for digital items. So we'll keep moving down, and it's just confirming that we have a digital file. We made it. It's a finished product made between 2020 and 2025. If you needed to change any of that, you could just go in here and change it, but it all looks good to me. We have our category here that we did earlier, the digital prints. If you want to add any attributes, you definitely can. You can add material, but we won't really have any material for a digital file. But you could add a primary color if you wanted to, ton of different options. Same thing for secondary color if you wanted to. You can choose your width and your height if you like to, but that can get a little tricky with offering multiple ratios and sizes for wall art, so I wouldn't even bother with it. And then you can click show all attributes if you wanted to look at the rest of them and determine what you wanted to do that worked best for your shop. Now I'm going to come down here to the tag section, and we're given 13 tags by Etsy, and each tag can have no more than 20 characters. So you want to absolutely use every tag that you have. Don't leave any of that on the table. Your tags and your title are incredibly important when it comes to being found. So you really, really, really want to maximize on that. And then we'll just move down. And with digital items, you can't really refund any or return or exchange anything. So that's already going to be done. And then you would just pick your shop section. I highly, highly, highly recommend having shop sections. Right now, I don't have any sections in my shop, but that is okay. We're going to quickly create one. And we would just name it. This one would be maximalist, but this can always be changed later. So don't get into thinking about it too much. You just want to have something, and then you can always go back and change it. And then with wall art, I do like to put collection at the end, but you don't have to. You can do whatever you think will work best for your shop, and then we'll hit save. And then if you want to feature the listing, you would toggle that on. I am going to go ahead and toggle that on. And then for the renewal options, I highly recommend that you just keep it automatic, because if you don't, anytime that item will sell, it'll just go down from your shop, and then you have to manually update the inventory and add it back. And I think it's a waste of time. Just keep automatic. That way, when you get that cha-ching, Etsy will just relist it for you and you don't have to do anything at all. So I'm going to keep it with automatic, and then we'll hit publish. And then Etsy is just telling you there's a non-refundable fee of 20 cents per new listing. Are you good with that? We are good with that. Okay, perfect. There we go. We're done. We've added a new listing to our shop. Earlier, I mentioned that I'd be sharing with you how you can get your free copy of the wall art size and formatting guide that I created. You can get that by leaving the word guide below, and I'll make sure that I get that over to you. And if you found the video helpful, go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you want to get done for you, already researched, low competition, trending niches given to you every day, in addition to the titles, the tags, monthly live calls, AI image prompts, then go ahead and click the first link in the description below. We would love to have you in the group. The video on your screen right here goes over 5 unsaturated low competition digital products that you can begin selling in your shop today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.